Hey guys, in this video you will learn how to create this final animation. To create this animation, we will use procedural material that works well on EEVEE. And before we start, if you like to get this project file and other cool stuffs, check my Patreon in the Gumroad. By doing so, you are supporting me. Thank you. Now, let's begin. In a fresh Blender file, hit Shift-A under Mesh, add an icosphere. Hit N under Item, under Dimension, turn all of them to 140. Hit N to close that side panel. To make this thing smooth, go over to our Modifiers panel, add a Subdivision Surface modifier. Turn the levels up, shade this object to smooth, and most importantly, to make sure that there is no mesh problem, hit Ctrl A, then apply rotation and scale. Hide overlays, the gizmo, split up a new window from this corner, change this to shader editor. On this window, click on this button, which is the material preview mode, hit N, then create a new material for our sphere, and I'm gonna call it Space. As a starting point, we will create a star. So, hit Shift-A, then add a Voronoi texture. If you have Node Wrangler already enabled, hit Ctrl-T to add a mapping node setup. Then, instead of generated, we are going to use the object coordinate. Preview our Voronoi texture, then turn the mapping scale to 0.45. Then here, add a color ramp node. Flip it, then push this thing up. Then now, let's play around the scale of our Voronoi. I'm going to use the value of 1 for now. Then let's push this block up. To colorize this thing, add a mix color node. Change the mix type to color. Turn the factor to 1. Then here, choose saturated blue. Specifically, I'm going to use the hex value of A197FFFF. Hit enter. To create the variation, select everything except the mapping node setup. Hit Ctrl-Shift-D to retain the connection. Preview our color. And now, let's play around the scale. For the scale, I'm going to use the value of 1.5. Then now, let's choose a color. Here, I like to use less saturated color, so I'm going to turn the saturation down. Specifically, I'm going to use 9B9FFFFF. Then hit enter. To blend these two textures, hit Shift-A, then add a mix color node. Plug the result of the bigger stars into A, and the smaller ones into B. Then change the mix into add, then turn the factor to 1. Select this group of nodes, hit F, then I'm gonna name it as star. Colorize it. Now, Let's create background stars. Hit Shift A, then add a noise texture, add a texture coordinate node, plug the object into our vector, with Ctrl Shift click, preview our noise texture, add a color ramp, put it here, push the black value up, push the white up a little bit. Now let's play around our noise setting. Turn the scale up. I'm going to use the value of 6. Then for the detail, I'm going to use the value of 5. Maybe push this black up a little bit. Then, to control the brightness of the stars, add a math node, change this to multiply, put it there, then turn down the value until you get something that you like. I'm going to use a value of 0.15. Select the nodes, hit F, then I'm gonna name them as BG stars. To blend these textures, add a mix node, put it there, change this to add, plug the result into the B, and let's see what we have. Turn the factor to 0.719, and nice. Then to add some blue clouds, we are going to use a noise texture. So, hit Shift A, then add a noise texture, a texture coordinate node, plug the object into the vector, preview the factor, then add a color ramp, push the black value up like this, then let's play around the scale. I'm going to turn this down, like the value of 0.05 will do. Then for the detail, the value of 15, the roughness of 0.7 will do. Then to colorize this thing, add a mix color node, change this to color, put it there. Then for the color, I'm going to use very saturated blue. Specifically, I'm going to use the hex value of 3F27BBFF. Leave the factor at 0.5. Hit F again, and I'm gonna call this blue cloud. Then, to blend these two textures, duplicate the add node, plug the result into the A socket, then the blue clouds into the B socket. Preview our result, then you can see that our clouds are too extreme. So let's turn the factor down. Specifically, I'm going to use the value of 0.24 for the factor, and they are slightly visible. Now, let's create some interesting things. Remove our principal base div, add an emission texture node, put it there, then turn the strength to 8. Push everything out, then I'm going to add a gradient texture node, hit Ctrl T, plug the object into our vector, preview our gradient texture node, add a color ramp node, Add a new color stop, turn the middle one to white, turn the last one to black. Then let's play around the placement of the texture. Here on our Y rotation on our mapping node, turn this up like the inclination of 90 degrees. And let's turn it up a little bit. I think the value of 94.1 degree will do. Now you can see that this thing is too thin, so we are going to make this thick using the Z scale. So I'm going to use a value of 0.1. Here you can see that it is too perfect in the straight. So to break this, we are going to introduce some distortion. Before that, let me tell you what distortion is. Okay, distorting the coordinate of a texture is a process of introducing odd things to the regular coordinate. For example, this is the regular coordinate of our gradient texture, but when we introduce a noise texture which is odd for this system, it will distort the placement of the texture. This is without the distortion, and this is with the distortion. So it is really powerful method to create something that looks realistic in terms of nature. Now let's back to our project. So to distort this, add a noise texture node, plug the object coordinate from our texture coordinate node, preview our noise texture, and let's play around the scale. Turn it down. Specifically, I'm going to use the value of 0.09. For the detail, I'm going to use the value of 15. Then for the roughness, 0.45 will do. Then for the distortion, I'm going to use the value of 0.07. Here, I'm going to add a mix color node between the mapping and the gradient texture. Plug the color of our noise texture into B socket. Then change this to linear light. Good. Now let's add second layer of distortion. Select our noise texture, hit Ctrl+Shift+D, then duplicate the linear light, plug the color of our noise texture into the B socket of our linear light. Here, let's play around the second noise texture. Preview it, then let's play around the settings. First, turn the F-beam to rigid multifractal. For the scale, the value of 0.1, the detail of 14, the roughness of 1, the lacunarity of 1.76, the gain of 28 will do. This is real game changer. It will add some interesting shapes to our texture. Then preview our gradient texture node. And now I can tell that the texture is too extreme. So turn the factor down until you get something that you like. Specifically, I'm going to use a value of 0.7. Now let's add some colors to this thing. So I'm going to add a color ramp node. Put it here. Add two another color stops using this plus icon. Leave the first one black, which represents the background, is black. Then for this one, we are going to choose dark brown color. Specifically, I'm going to use the hex value of 6D3500FF. Push this one there, then choose dark gray color. Specifically, I'm going to use the hex value of 100A11FF. For the last one, we are going to choose blue color. Specifically, I'm going to use the hex value of 3E76FFF. FF. And we have this, which is cool. Now let's add some interesting shapes to this thing. So from the second noise texture, which distorts our gradient texture, we are going to drive a value from it. So add a mix color node, plug the factor into our A socket, change the mix to color. Here choose very saturated but dark brown. Specifically, I'm going to use the hex value of 2F0300FF. Let's preview it. Turn the factor to 1, then add RGB curves node. Then make everything very dark like this. Then to make that reddish part more darker, add a mix color node. Put it there. Change this to multiply node. Turn the factor to 1, then add a value node. Plug the value output into the B socket. Then turn the number up. For example, the value of 0.45 will do. Then, to blend these two textures, add a mix node, mix color. Plug the color from the color ramp to the A socket and from the multiply into the B socket. Then preview our mix. Now you can see that it is too extreme, so turn the factor down until you get something that you like. Specifically, I'm going to use the value of 0.022, and this is cool, right? Now I think if we add some purple color, it will look cool. So select this color ramp, hit Ctrl+Shift+D because I like to use the output from our gradient texture node. Preview the ramp, change the position of the white there, add another color stop, change the last one to white, then push the blacks like this, then turn the second black to lighter color, something like this, lighter gray will do, because I like to get that smooth blending between the background. Then to colorize this thing, add a mix color node, change this to color, a factor of 1, purple. Specifically, I'm going to use the value of 200026FF. Now you can see that we have to invert this effect because it is affecting the background, which is not what we want. So add an invert color and put it here. Then to blend these two textures, duplicate this one, plug the color from the purple into A socket and the rest into the B socket. Preview our mix and turn the factor to 0.5. I think this will look better once we add another color. To do so, just duplicate this color ramp again, preview it, push the black out like this, the white a little bit, then push this thing like this, then duplicate the mix color from here, then put it there. Then here choose blue color. Specifically, I'm going to use the hex value of 0065CCFF. Hit enter. Select everything, move them up. Duplicate the mix node, put it here. Plug this one into the B socket, this one into the A socket. Turn the factor down until you get something that you like. Specifically, I'm going to use the value of 0.383, which is perfect. Now, you can see that this thing is wrapped around our object like a ring, which is not realistic. So we are going to cut it using another gradient texture node. Here, add gradient texture node, preview the color, hit Ctrl T, change the generator to our object. Then here you can set whatever you like. This is pretty personal, so at least the original Blender file I used the rotation of y-axis of like minus 23.5. Then for the location X I used the value of minus 6.84. Here I like to distort this texture as well, so add a noise texture, plug the object right here, preview our noise texture, turn the scale down. Specifically, I'm going to use a value of 0.09, for the detail 15, for the roughness 1, for the linearity 2, for the distortion I'm going to use a value of 0.4. Then add a color ramp, push the black out, something like this will do. Then hit Ctrl Shift right click and drag to our mapping to add mix node, preview our gradient texture node, turn the factor up, or let's try 0.9. I think this will look very nice. Then add a mix color node, change this to multiply, turn the factor to 1, plug the gradient texture color into the B socket. Okay, around here, to rid of that sharp edge, I'm going to add a color ramp node, change this to B-spline, turn the black up a little bit, just a little bit. You can use shift to slide the value smoothly. Then let's see what we have. Now let's blend these two texture sets. Hit Shift D on the mix node right here, put it there, preview our emission, plug the result from our second node setup to the mix, turn the factor to 0.5. I think this is looking stunning, right? So it is very cool. Let's do some organization steps. Select the whole node setup like this, hit F, then I'm gonna rename it as this. Now let's create the final layer, and that is interesting purplish clouds. So add a noise texture node, a texture coordinate node, preview our noise texture, change this F-beam to rigid multifractal. Let's play around the scale. I'm going to use a value of 0.1, detail of 14, roughness of 1, the gain value of 18 will do. Then hit Ctrl Shift D on this noise texture, change this to multifractal. Then I'm not gonna change anything. Preview this, add a color ramp node, push this thing like this. Then let's add a mix color node, plug the rigid multifractal node into the A, then the multifractal noise into the B socket. Turn the factor down, like the value of 0.191 will do. Then add a color ramp. Push the black out like this. Now let's add another layer of noise. Select our noise texture, hit Ctrl-Shift-D, hit backspace to reset our texture. Let's play around our scale. The value of 0.1, the detail of 9, roughness 0.61, the distortion of 1 will do. Then add a color ramp, just duplicate this one. Add a mix color node. Change this to multiply and turn the factor to 1. Then we are going to use a color ramp to colorize this thing. Hit Shift-A, color ramp, put it there, then change the white to purple. Specifically, we are going to use the hex value of 523666 FFF. Then duplicate the mix node, plug the purple cloud into A socket, then preview our mix. Okay, it is nice. Turn the factor a little bit up, like the value of 0.84 will do. Preview our emission, and we have this amazing and cool stuff right here. Now let's composite this thing. Just jump over to our compositor window, jump over to our rendered mode. Under this drop down menu, choose always, create new. Then we are going to composite this thing. Add a glare node, which is blue. Okay, turn the size down, like the value of 0.25 do. Then add a mix node, change this to color, and this is a nice effect. Here add another glare node. Now I'm going to choose sunbeams, so we are going to get this amazing sunbeams. For the tint, I'm going to use some purplish color. Duplicate the mix over here, put it there, plug the result into A, just to help us to turn the sunbeams effect down. So I think this is nice. Okay, and here I'm going to add a bright contrast node, add a little bit of contrast in brightness. Back to our shader editor. So I think this effect is very amazing, and if you have a camera, for example, I have a camera right here. Okay, let me position my camera somewhere. This is really difficult. Okay. For the camera, I'm going to use 35mm lens and EEVEE, and you can see that it is very amazing. Let's try it in Cyclus render engine. Okay, yeah, I think it is working very well on Cyclus as well. So yeah, thank you for watching this tutorial until the end, and if you haven't already, please subscribe my YouTube channel. So, and also you can get the Patreon and my Gumroad link in the description. I'll see you in the next one.